Does it really matter if kids and teens have a strong core? Well, stick around and you'll find out. Hey everybody, welcome back to Pediatric Therapy Essentials. My name is Dr. Heather Sossaman and I'm a pediatric physical therapist. And here on this channel, you'll find two kinds of videos. The first are educational videos, where we talk about complex medical topics and we break them down into terms and language that we can all understand. And the second kind of video are movement videos. And in these movement videos, I encourage strengthening, flexibility, and endurance in kids of all ability levels. If you enjoyed today's video, I would really appreciate it if you would give it a thumbs up. That really helps out my channel. And if you're new around here and you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button that's just below the video. All right, let's dive into those 3 important reasons that all kids and teens really need to have strong core muscles. Now, if you're not familiar, the core muscles are the muscles that surround the middle portion of our body. So we have a group of core muscles on the front of our body that help us to flex or bend our body forward. We have core muscles on the sides of our body that help us to lean side to side or twist back and forth. And we also have a group of core muscles that is found on the back of our body. And that helps us to bend backwards or extend our trunk. Now, in addition to moving ourselves forward, backwards, and side to side, the core muscles also help with breathing. They help us to expand our chest so we can take a deep breath. They help control the pressure in our interabdominal section, and they also help with posture. Now, I have a video that I created, actually I think it was my very first video, that goes into great detail on what our core muscles are, the anatomy, the physiology, and how they work. And if you'd like to listen to that detailed explanation, I will link that video right up here. Now that we know where our core muscles are and what their actions are, let's talk about those 3 reasons why kids need a strong core. The first one is posture. So in order for us to have an aligned posture, now an aligned posture means that if you're looking at the body from the side, you'll know that the ear, shoulder, hip, knee, and ankle are all viewed in a nice straight line. In order for our body to get into and maintain that position, we have to have strong core muscles to hold us there. Now, if we don't have a nice upright and aligned posture, our body isn't going to be able to move efficiently and effectively, and it's going to put a lot more wear and tear on our joints. In addition, if we stay in poor posture or malaligned posture for an extended period of time, those changes in positions can unfortunately become permanent. So in order to keep us upright and tall, we really need a strong core. Number 2 is that we need a strong core because proximal stability creates distal mobility. Okay, so that's a therapy principle that guides a lot of what PTs and OTs do. And that means that if the proximal portion of your body, or the part closest to the center, your core, is strong and stable, it allows the distal, or portions furthest from the core, like your hands and your feet and your knees and your elbows, mobility, or the ability to move. So in order for our hands to grab a glass of water or a foot to kick a ball, that cannot happen unless there's a stable base from which that movement can occur. So proximal stability leads to distal mobility, and that proximal stability is provided by a strong core. And third is that without a strong core, skill development can be impacted. So when I say skill development, I'm talking about the development of gross and fine motor skills. So gross motor skills are big movements, right? Sitting up, standing, walking, jumping. And fine motor skills are those more precise and fine movements like picking up a penny off of the table or pointing. And again, because just like we talked about, right, we've got to have proximal stability to get distal mobility. If we don't have that nice strong core, then we're not going to be able to develop those fine motor and gross motor skills. So now that we know why a strong core is so important, let's talk about some simple ways that we can encourage our kids to develop a strong core. For babies, the best thing we can do is to make sure they spend most of their time out of containers, so out of devices that hold them in one position. Now, I'm a mom, I had 3 kids, and I get it. Sometimes we have to put our kids in a safe place so that we can go to the bathroom, do a load of laundry, cook dinner. So I understand that containers have a place in our lives, but the majority of the time, babies need to have the ability to be on the floor and just play. Babies will inherently move in ways that will strengthen their core and help them to develop appropriately, but we just have to give them the opportunity to do that. So, letting baby lay on their tummy and reach for toys, or on their back and reach for things around them, is a great way to strengthen their core. If you're holding your baby and playing with them, you can move them from side to side and bounce them on their knee, and all of those things will help develop a strong core. For kids and teens, the best thing we can do, again, is just to encourage them to get outside and move around. Just like babies, when kids are playing with each other, they're doing things that inherently strengthen their core. So encouraging them to spend a larger portion of their day in free play is the best thing to do. And finally, if you feel like your child has a weak core, or you've been to therapy and they've told you that your child needs to work on their core strength, there are targeted exercises that you can do that really will help strengthen the core. So some simple core exercises are: number 1, the bridge. And to perform a bridge, you want to lay on your back with your feet flat on the floor and your knees bent. Then you slowly are going to lift your bottom up to make it level with your knees, and hold the position for 5 to 10 seconds and lower yourself back down to the floor. Now, if that gets to be a little bit too easy, you can always make it harder by putting a ball between your knees or trying to do a bridge with one leg. Number 2 is the Superman. So this exercise requires that you lay on your belly on the floor and then slowly try to lift your head, arms, and legs up off the floor, just like Superman flying through the air. Again, you want to hold this position for 10 to 15 seconds and then slowly go back down to the ground. Now, the third exercise is the plank. And this is one I think most of us are familiar with, but it can be a little challenging. So there are several modifications that you can do to this exercise to meet your child's level. The easiest form of a plank is to put your hands out on extended arms and put the rest of your weight through your knees. Once you get the hang of that, you can keep your arms extended and push up onto your toes with your legs completely extended. And then once you get the hang of that, you can go down to your forearms on the floor, again with your legs extended up on your toes. Just like the other exercises, you want to hold this position for 15 to 30 seconds and slowly lower yourself back down. Now, if you have younger kids, trying to get them to do specific exercises can be a little challenging because they may not find it very fun. So there are lots of little activity type games that you can do with your kids to strengthen their core. So you can do animal walks. Things like a crab walk or a bear walk or an elephant walk are all great for strengthening the core. And once you get the hang of those, you can move on to the wheelbarrow walk. And I always make sure to practice this one on a soft surface first until your child gets the hang of it. Now, if your child has movement limitations and they can't stand up to exercise, or they're really not comfortable exercising on the floor, you can get an amazing core workout in your chair. Simply by leaning side to side, doing twists, or even punching across the center will really work out those core muscles. And I'm sure it will come as no surprise to all of you that I have several movement videos that focus on those core muscles. So I have some that are done in the seated position for people that are more comfortable in that position, and I have some that are done in standing or even sitting on the floor. And I will link all of those videos up here as well as in the description box. And in the upcoming weeks, I have some new core workouts to add to the list. So make sure you check back to see when those come out. Well, I hope you guys learned something new today about those all-important core muscles. And remember, when you're doing these activities at home, adults, you can join along with the kids because we need strong cores as much as they do. And these movement videos are a lot of fun to do together as a family. If you would like more information on the topic we talked about today, make sure to hop over to my website, pediatrictherapyessentials.com, and check out the blog post that goes along with today's video. I also have some free core workout and core exercise handouts available for you on the website. Well, I hope each and every one of you has a wonderful week, and I will look forward to seeing you next Saturday. Bye!